What's up, everybody? Big Herc, fresh out. You tune into another edition of Fresh Out, Life After the Penitentiary. I'm out here in my hometown, Sacramento, and I'm out here with the homie, Young Dirt. And, he had hit me up on social media, and when I seen he was from my town, I figured I'd come out here and try to make this happen because, there's a lot of shit going on in Sacramento right now, and he's been from one of the places we used to funk with back in the day, but now we older, we more mature. Back in the day, the Heights and Highlands, they'd be on site over some whatever we didn't even know, but it'd just be on. But times have changed, so we out here now. In the 90s it was crazy, man. I mean, you from the Heights, I was from Highlands. It'd be whether it be at a football Scandia. I mean, shit, man, it'd be cracking, But we more mature now, and so it's good to come back and reflect. Both of us went through our adversity, and I want to get his story, man. So I'm gonna let Young Dirt tell you a little bit about himself, how he grew up, where he's from, and kind of give you guys some backstory.
So basically, I'm born and raised in Sacramento, California. I'm from the Heights. I was born in the Heights, but due to the system, I moved around. So I actually was raised in Meadowview too. So I basically had dual citizenship. But as a kid growing up, I mean, I went to so many schools in Sacramento. I was in group homes, the basic stuff. And when I ended up locked up at 9 years old, I was for burning up a field in Meadowview. I think right then my innocence was lost, right then. Because I'm in juvenile hall with all these older dudes that's really gang banging, and they have expectations of me because of who I'm related to out here. So automatically, I just jumped in the shoes. I didn't even know what it really meant to be a blood back then. I mean, I'm like 9, 10, 11 years old. I'm just knowing my family blood, so I'm a blood.
Yeah.
And then it didn't help because I grew up in the Boys in the Hood and the Menace to Society era. So that didn't help nothing either. But anyhow, I played sports. See, the thing about Sacramento is if you really from Sacramento, you gonna know people from all over. You're not just gonna be isolated in Sacramento in one little area. Like I'm from the Heights and I grew up in Meadowview, but I still was back and forth. And at the same time, we played sports. We got locked up. We worked jobs together. So we sold candy on the candy crew. We did all them type of things together. So when you get to a certain point, that's why we're able to talk. You get to a certain point and you realize, man, that's all a part of growing up. Unfortunately, my growing up ended up different. I ended up in prison at 17. I skipped over a lot, but I'm gonna get to it. I mean, I ended up in prison at 17 for basically robbing, chasing a music dream, because back in the days, if you wanted to record, you had to go to a studio with all type of engineering. You had to have somebody, it was a whole complicated deal. So we needed money. So I ended up, finding somebody that was gonna put me on. So he gave me a little demo tape or whatever, and then he cut the Texas on me. So I'm stuck with this rap dream and nowhere to get, and I needed some money. So I did one robbery, led to another, and next thing you know, I didn't really know about Pete Wilson. I used to hear about him in the rap songs, but I didn't know about him. So 17 years old, I didn't took a deal for 18 years and I'm on a level 4 yard. Matter of fact, I wasn't even 18 yet. I was about to be 18 because I couldn't even buy tobacco when I first got on the yard.
Yeah, so you skipped all the way over YA, they didn't send you to YA?
Oh, nah. I did the juvenile hall, the girls' school, the group homes, the stints.
Boys Ranch, did they send you to Boys Ranch?
Oh, nah, I skipped over that. I went from girls' school to maximum security.
I remember about girls' school. Girls' school, everybody was up in there fucking.
Yeah,
girls,
yeah.
You motherfuckers go to girls' school because they
yeah.
in there busting cheeks and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard about girls' school. I didn't go to that. I just went to juvenile hall, Boys Ranch, CYA, fuck around Preston. Then I went to Grass Valley, Washington Fire Camp, and then to the feds. But,
they made an example out of me. It was like, oh, no. Back then, the 3 strikes law, when that hit, that changed everything. So if you have a gun in the commission or anything, they was making examples out of you.
Oh, straight in the hands.
And they didn't care how old you was. I was in juvenile hall, maximum security, with people from Like the homie Lil Rob, they did the Pizza Man thing back in the days, but he's still in there.
Damn.
And he was like 12.
Damn.
He's still in there.
From 12 years old.
Man, hope you get out, boy. Yeah, 12.
So what type of, your experience with the legal system at that age? I mean, did you have a public pretender? Did you have to pay an attorney? I mean, what happened?
Oh man, I had an attorney that basically told me you did it to take the deal.
Wow, he wasn't trying to do no type of defense or nothing, huh?
He said you did it, man. Take the deal.
Wow.
He argued with my grandma and everything.
What?
So I tried to fire him, but see, here's.
And you can't even. It's hard to fire an attorney once you can't even get him off.
Once I fired him, the damage was done. See, here's the damage. When you're in juvenile hall, maximum security, we didn't have access to no law library.
No legal work.
Let alone know how to use it if they give it to us.
Yeah.
So by the time you facing big boy time, you going to big boy court, but you're not getting big boy weapons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So by the time I looked up, I felt like I had no option but to take a deal. Because back then, what they was doing is you rob a place and whoever's in there is getting included too. So one robbery is like 8 robberies.
Damn.
So when they telling you looking at 42 years, I mean,
oh shit.
42,
based
18,
on the amount of victims?
Yes. And I didn't shoot a gun. I didn't hit nobody, touch nothing, just regular old, give me your money.
Wow.
So hey, that's what led me to prison now.
And where'd you, where was the first spot they sent you to?
So the first spot they sent me to was Salinas Valley. Salinas Valley, level 4, that's in Soledad.
Why they send you to a level 4 at 17? I mean, based on your criminal history?
Because of the years. And then they take points off for say you were in the military, high school diploma, psych history, things like that, and it's a point system.
Okay.
So back then, level 3 started at 51 points and lower. Mm-hmm. So if you get 52, you might be borderline, but 51, that's level 3. That's where you want to go. Mm-hmm. But I was level 4, so I came with 59 points. But it took me 8.5 years to get under 51 because I came with the mind frame, just like Nate said. I came with the mind frame it's my obligation as a young blood to put in work. So I was the one put my hand up. So, and it didn't take long for me because it was natural. Coming from in Sacramento, we rivaled with y'all, but we went harder with Old Park back then.
Do I know Old Park even when I was in the branch?
Yeah.
They had they shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was, and the crib was real small, but then Del Paso Heights had theirs. Yeah. And Oak Park, everybody's trying to battle who running what. You know what I mean? And it was a lot of tension back then.
I ain't gonna lie, when you go to the pen, I'm gonna keep it 100. Any yards you go to, Oak Park niggas is always the deepest. They are always the deepest, no matter what. And no line you go to in California.
They got people up in there, huh?
They the deepest.
What were some of the things you experienced as a youngster, man, going in there that you look back at now that was pretty crazy, man? I mean, as far as in retrospect, 'cause I know, like you said, you were putting in work and having to do certain things. I mean, what was some of the stuff that you look back and was like, damn, man.
So we got a older homie from the hood, he's named O'Roy. So in prison, they got politics. And if you do business with another race, and it goes basically, if you do business with a Southsider at that,
yeah, that's horrible.
You want to make sure it's on the up and up. Don't nobody know nothing behind closed doors, because if it go bad, something gonna happen to him off top.
Exactly.
Ain't too much gonna happen to us, because but to them they gonna get it because the potential problem. So the homie, I guess he did business with the Southsider, and the Southsider wasn't paying him. So he basically threatened the shot caller and told him, if he don't have my money by afternoon yard, I'm finna lay the yard down. So when you basically laying the yard down, it's basically I'm about to, because when it's an alarm in the pen, you got to get flat on your stomach. Some pens you sit down, but most pens you get prone out on your stomach. So anyhow, we found out about it. The Southsiders came and told us. Luckily, we got a warning. So off top, you got to do discipline for that. Because
so he didn't tell nobody else that he was going to do it?
He didn't tell nobody.
Oh, he threatened the shit, so he about to kick off a full riot.
He about to kick it off. So me being me, and then he's from the hood, so I try to give him a way out. So I'm like, look, Just do your DP, man.
Yeah.
You gotta do 100 burpees. Now this OG, he an OG homie. He had been down. He had been down since like '84. So at that time he had been down like 20 years.
Damn.
So he a real OG.
Yeah, for real.
But all I know is I'm fresh in the pen. I've been in the pen like 3 years. I didn't put in hella work on this particular yard, and people listen to me. And I know my politics front and back.
Yeah.
So I could tell an older dude what to do because I got this manuscript.
Yeah.
So basically you put us in jeopardy, do these burpees. So he did about 5 burpees. Jumped up and was like, I ain't doing this shit. So I'm like, damn, you know what come next, right? He was like, I don't give a fuck. So basically I know he got a knife because I made it for him.
Yeah.
Because we in the same building
Shit.
and we gotta look out for each other. So I know he got one. I know where he keep it. So when I go in the building, and because there's your afternoon yard, morning yard, when I go in the building, I see the knife ain't there.
Shit.
But he didn't got tipped off that we was about to get him because I was performing that day because it was a concert.
Yeah.
And I've already performed in the morning, so I'm gonna perform again in the afternoon on the yard. Like the yard like this, but they got the hobby shop over to the side. And basically we set up the band in front of the hobby shop. So I'm like, he ain't gonna mess up the concert in the afternoon, is he? So sure enough, as he came out the building and my other homies tried to surround him. He bust up out the thing with the knife like, what's going on? So now it's on the cracking on the yard as far as everybody seeing what's going on. So we ended up we're trying to chase him across the yard through the concert goers trying to get to him. So I backed off and let them try to get to him, and then they didn't get to him or whatever. So I got into the hobby shop anyway to eat my little spread because the Crips had a spread on the yard. And, you know, I'm young dirt. I'm welcoming everybody's spread. So I'm eating my spread and I look up and see him still trying to get him. So I just put the spread down and was like, fuck it. Ran out there on the stage because he didn't back onto the stage.
On the stage with having the concert?
He on the stage with the knife, backing up. And then the other homies is pursuing him. So when I came running out the thing, it was when they threw the trash can at him and he kicked it back at him. That was making Sacramento look bad. So I hit him, bam. When I hit him from the back, the knife flew in the air. We stomp him out. And then when the police came, I kind of did like a paratrooper run, dive. They sprayed, I get out the way. I get up against the wall. Well, when I get up against the wall, they come and they take the other 2 homies that was on him. They get the knife and everything. They say, we got everybody? It was like, yeah, I think we got everybody. The dude that was filming the camera, that was filming the concert, he said, man, I don't think I got nothing. About 10 seconds passed. He said, wait a minute, I think I got something. Remember, I'm off on the side, sitting by myself, like in the cuts, like I'm about to get away.
Yeah.
The lieutenant looked at that camera and was like, cuff him up. So when they cuffed me up, I'm thinking we just, you know, a simple battery or something like that. They put us in the building. And all of a sudden, we're in the shower. Well, I'm in this one shower. They got us, like in the buildings, they have shower sections. And there's a shower in each section. And there's bars on them. So a lot of times when there's situations like a riot or something like that, and they need to find places to put you until they situate the situation, they lock you in the shower. But there's still cells and people can get to you in the building. So somebody came and gave me a cup of wine, Prison Pruno. And I drank it. I'm like, good looking, man. He said, cause you gonna need this, brother. I'm like, what you mean? He handed it around like, there's like it's a form, whenever there's a situation, it lets you know what's happened, what's going on. Basically, you were on lockdown because this happened, and this happened. So when it came out, he handed it to me. It said there was an attempted murder on the yard today involving Sacramento Bloods, and due to that, we're on lockdown. I'm thinking attempted murder? Man, I ain't attempted murder nobody. I just came and I stomped him out and all, but I didn't attempt to murder nobody. Yeah. Because they're saying it was a stabbing attack. Because there was 3 of us and him, and he had the knife.
And they found the knife.
And they found the knife, so they couldn't logically think that he had the knife, and we didn't, and basically, they put us as the aggressors, like, y'all tried to kill that man. So what happened is, this is where things changed. So I sat in, if you don't go to the hole right away, they put you on ASEC status and keep you in the building. While I was in that building, people had access to me, mainliners. Mm-hmm. Nobody from Sacramento really came and said, here, take this to the hole with you. Take this to the hole with you. Nobody really came. I'm like, I didn't put in this work and y'all ain't respecting, oh, hell no. And I've been doing this shit for hella long. So what I realized is I started looking at the older homies a little different because like I didn't put in more work than some of them.
Yeah.
And I can't even get a care package, but a homie from LA blood came to the cell and was like, look, Damu T, he was like, there you go.
Wow.
He was like, blood love. So, and I respected that. That's why some homies in SAC, and it depends, some homies in SAC don't really function with LA bloods like that for whatever reason. But me, I can't deny where I come from, what my teachings are, and what my upbringings are, but I am who I am as a man. So, like if a LA blood comes, I'm gonna extend my utmost. If he on the bullshit, then I ain't gonna mess with him. But most of them is genuine blood love, and really just being a blood in Sacramento is almost like, it's like being a dinosaur, because we don't really exist no more like that because everything is cut up with additives and preservatives, and I'm just original, just straight up blood, that's it.
When you was in the pen, did you run across any mentors or anybody that took you under their wing to kind of like get you on the right track? Because I know you said you was getting into a lot of shit, and you know, there comes a time when you kind of like feel you got to get your mind right. Was there anybody who kind of laced you up?
I was fortunate because I came in knowing that I'm a young homie and I'm entitled to game no matter where you from. So if you're an older homie, I'm a young homie. I don't care if you from the Bay, you from 60s, Hoover. I don't care about none of that. You gonna teach me because I'm young and I gotta survive. I gotta survive, and one day I may be coming across the yard to help you. Or one day I may get out on the streets and do something positive and reach back in to help you. So there's no blacks in there in the pen, even whites, Mexicans. There's no blacks in there that's gonna not deny you knowledge because we're all in there trying to fight our way up out that hole. Basically, I felt that I was entitled to game from no matter where, at what area, what geographical, because I was young. So I had a lot of mentors, too many to name. And I'm a student of the game, especially a student of Sacramento. So all the OGs from Oak Park, from the Heights, some from Highlands, a lot from Meadowview, they all laced me. I'm a product of them. As far as when it comes to preparing me for the streets, I mean, in prison, they gonna slap a book in your face. Do this, do that. And in there, if you wanna survive or even have a chance when you come out here, you gotta get with the best of mentors in there. So if I could learn from you, I was gonna learn. I'm gonna give you, for example, like my celly No Good from Meadowview. He been down almost 18 years for some stupid stuff. He been trying to fight his way up out of there, but he's a brilliant mind. And I felt like, because I went back in. When I went back in, I felt I made a mistake, and it was people like him that I needed to seek out to help me find out what I was doing wrong. And he laced me. I went in for a tune-up and came back. But that's just one mentor to name many.
And so, like, as far as you know, being mentored and having somebody kind of, you know, be a role model, at what point did you you know, feel that, you know, you had to start preparing yourself to get out of prison? Because, you know, you said, you know, you did a lot, you know, you said what, 17 years? 17 years. So, I mean, you know, throughout that bid, I mean, you know, you're doing your thing, but at what point did you start shifting focus to like, okay, I gotta try to start thinking about these streets?
Well, although most of the time I felt like I wasn't going home, I say about the 14th year, stuff started getting real because they sent me to Calipat. And I was on the yard one day and the dude, I told him I had 2 years left. And he was like, 2 years? He said, man, if I had 2 years, I will never come outside. I was like, damn, 2 years seemed like a long time to me. But on this yard, this level 4 Calipat, the closest homie that was going home was like, he had 7 years. Everybody else was like 250 years, life without.
Damn.
So the fact that I made it back through that type of war zone seeing where people really just ain't got nothing to lose, that was my wake-up call right there, that it's time to prepare. And around that time, I was part of the Nation of Islam. And that really like added like discipline to a character, to basically me. Mm-hmm. And they're pumping good stuff in you all the time. I'm not with the Nation now, but they were pumping stuff in me to basically help me. And then next thing you know, I met my wife. And my wife, that whole 17 years, I wasn't in a relationship probably for hardly any of it, except for the last 3 years when she came.
Okay. And
she was that ray of light that I needed to focus and take my mind outside them walls. So that's where I changed.
And so upon getting out, man, what was some of the first things you did? I mean, you know, that's a lot of time, man, to really be in there, especially as a youngster, and so many things have changed, technology and stuff, man. I mean, what was some of the things that you had to deal with that were like, just kind of like it seemed overwhelming or very challenging?
The simple things was probably the most challenging for me. Like basic communication with people. It's like they were speaking another language coming home after all that time, because I realized in prison we really have our own lingo, our own language. Mm-hmm. A lot of us speak with our hands and stuff. So, mm-hmm. So we're next to primates in the room with a professional, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. So being comfortable with myself to just be myself let me rewind. I realized that people will help you if you ask. If you ask for help, mm-hmm. You don't come in like you this big bad person, I know this, I know that. If you just come like, hey man, I need help.
So basically humble yourself.
Humble yourself. Humility.
It's funny you say that, because I know I meet a lot of people who have done time, and then, you know, I could be in the gym and sometimes I could look at a dude, and I seen a dude one time, he was doing like pull-ups, push-ups, and he'd walk around all the cardio equipment.
Man.
I said, damn, brother, he on the yard still, you know what I mean? Everybody kind of looking like, what is he doing? But I didn't say nothing, but in my head I said, damn, dude, institutionalized. He he cut up, but he like, his program is still yard mentality. He can do pull-ups, he'll do push-ups, and he'll walk around the treadmills and everything and come back.
Man, that's some real stuff, man. See, I made a mistake. I did 17 years. I came home, I was home for 3 years. And if nobody gets nothing from this interview, I want them to get this, mm-hmm. this story, because this is where I made a mistake. And this is what a lot of us that are fresh out are gonna be faced with. And it's the decision to do this or do that. And I was strong for 3 years. Mm. So one day, I lit a firework in my apartment complex. Lit a firework, a little Roman candle. Mm-hmm. You know, it sounded like a 38 on a calm day. So I light the Roman candle. Next thing you know, this dude comes out of his house. And he approached me. He like, man, what's your problem, man? What you little kid, calling me a little kid, basically. But what it was is he sleeps in the day and works at night. So that rattled him. Mm. So when he came out and approached me, I'm like, look, man, where are your parents, man? I don't argue with kids. I'm using all the stuff I learned in prison. Mm-hmm. I don't argue with kids, man. Back up, man, please, man. I used everything. And he pushed me to a point where I resorted to what I knew, and that was in there. So I went into the house, hopefully to be talked out of it sometime from that walk to the house, and next thing you know, I heard come outside. He had a machete in his hand. I'm looking through the blinds, so now I'm feeling justified getting my wife's registered gun because she was a security guard. Mm. I'm feeling justified in my actions now, but she knows me. Mm. She knows me. So when I come around the corner, she didn't shout out the house. When I come around the corner, she's tussling with this dude with this machete to try to prevent me from doing what I do. And I whipped out. Actually, I ain't gonna say I whipped out. I lifted up my shirt and said, put it down. He put the machete down. I go grab it, I fling it. He keeps on whooping. He keeps on whooping. And I heard the little voice in my head say, I'm about to hit him. I heard it. Don't ignore that voice if you ever hear it. But I heard it. He kept on going, man. He called me a boy. When he called me boy, I don't know what happened. all I know is I was on him. And then I looked up, and his mom was on my wife. And please don't judge me for this, but his mom was on my wife trying to ground pound my wife. So faced with that situation, she caught a 3-piece in a biscuit to get up off of my wife. I mean, I'm
yeah. That's your wife, man. Shit.
But anyhow, they come, right? And I get locked up, and I'm now fighting a gun charge. They didn't lock him up. The dude with the machete.
Yeah.
They didn't lock him up. They didn't do nothing. He actually, it's ugly. But what I was doing was blaming him. When I went in, I'm blaming him. It's his fault. I did what I was supposed to do and all that. But I did what I was taught to do prison-wise, what prison taught me. So finally, when I got to the mentor, No Good, and we talked, I had to come to a realization that I missed something. There was something in prison the first time that I missed, and that was my attitude. My attitude, because there were many things that I could have did when he approached me. There were many things I could have did, but I chose to take that route, and that cost me 16 months doubled up, so I did 18, and I've been home 4 months now.
Damn. Yeah, man. I tell people all the time, and they're like, Big Herc, man, did you want to split his wig when you found out he worked you on the transmission? There's a couple times I was dealing with a dude, man. I'm a big car guy, and this guy he was selling me some bunk parts of my transmission, and when I found out, I told it, I'm confronting the dude, and he looked at me like, what you gonna do? Dude, I almost started crying, like I was so mad, like, he's like, what you gonna do? I told you. He's like, you telling me? I'm like looking at this dude. Dude, I looked around, there's another dude standing there, a witness. Yeah. And like my car's right here, and I'm thinking, man, he gonna see my license plate. But dude, he was testing me, man. I'm like, dude, I can mutilate you right now. And I just got my car, man. I drove off, man. And I was so hot because it's like disrespect. But like you said, it's like, I weigh it out. My ex fella, I got my record's extensive, and it's like they're not even gonna listen to me. Yeah, they're gonna listen to him. So it's like you guys, take heed from the homie Young Dirt, man. You got to sometimes, bite the bullet and humble yourself, and then think about how to handle a situation another way because, for real. You'll black out, and then next thing you know, this dude's on the ground. Maybe they can say it's attempted murder. You don't put hands on him, and then you're trying to figure out how to get the fuck out of jail. Man,
So. Coming home now with assessing my mistakes, the world looks so much bigger now because I'm able to look back and see what I didn't do, what I want to do. And one of the things I realized is, man, I didn't travel. I ain't never flew. I didn't do nothing the whole time. Now I've been on a mad tear. So I've been Atlanta, Florida, went through Texas, Las Vegas. I've been to all these places because I realized Sacramento is small. So when they caught me, I was on the run and they locked me up in Florida in where Trayvon Martin got killed.
Oh,
Sanford.
yeah.
They had me in that county jail and I was around these dudes. It was like they were speaking another language. But I asked them, had y'all ever heard of Sacramento? It was like, Sacramento? I ain't never heard of Sac. Where that's at? So I had to basically explain. The closest I can get to was Too Short. Yeah. It's like where Too Short is, about 100 miles this way. That's the way I had to explain that. So when I realized, I'm like, man, Sacramento is hella small. So I'm finna travel, and I'm gonna be a representative of Sacramento. I want everybody to know where I'm from when I go.
So what are you doing now? I mean, as far as life after, what are some of the things that you're pursuing as far as your goals and stuff like that?
So basically my vision, I deal with music, I do a bunch of things, but at the same time, my vision is my clothing label. I have a clothing label. Basically, you're not really supposed to share your ideas like that, but I have a clothing label that once we get all the paperwork down, it's gonna do pretty good. Because it's a stark representative of the truth.
Okay. So that's one of your passions is clothing, fashion, and getting into just the whole fashion clothing thing?
Yeah, that, and then I'm trying to get into, I don't know if you see my YouTube page, but I do a lot of little comedy. Okay. I'm starting, because I realize all that hard stuff in prison, I was in a wound up hard ball for years.
Yeah.
So when I came home and I was around real people, it's like, man, these people is living life. They're happy. I want that.
Yeah.
If I'm in this wound up, all hard up, compressed ball, I can't even partake in none of that.
Well, it's funny you say that too, is because I know I run across a lot of people at different events, and it's like, I'm like, man, these motherfuckers is goofy, man. You know, they soft, but I'm like used to being like you said, like this dude, like, and why these dudes, man, why don't they act like they got a little bit more, but they ain't tough. You ain't got to be tough in the real world.
Man.
You making money, you know what I mean? It's a different challenge. It's not like you got to show your, put your manhood on somebody.
Man.
So it's different, man. But, to be happy and to be out there just kick back, man, it's different.
Man, they asked me, why you smile so much? Why you always smiling? I said, if you only knew, I'm just happy. I'm happy, I'm free.
Yeah.
Because, it's the worst feeling when you're on your bed and you wake up and you're looking at the ceiling. Man. Looking at the cement slab, it's the worst.
Oh, you roll over and your elbow hit that cement wall?
Oh,
and you be like, man, and the doors crowd, you like, fuck.
Man, old Folsom cells is this big. About that big, about that long.
That's like old Lompoc. Lompoc USP, man, same thing. You got to get on the bunk for me to get out and use the bathroom. You know what I mean?
No.
You can't. It ain't even no room. It's like being in a like basically I tell people it's like living in a bathroom. Bathroom at home is bigger. With a tub is bigger than the cell.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people that like older homies. They get to them lower levels where they got like bunks and stuff like that. They be like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And they'll get a write-up just to get back to a cell.
Institutionalized, huh?
Yeah, see, that's another thing. When I came home after doing that 17, I sat to attack everything institutionalized about me that I could. Like I used to ask people, hey man, what you think? And I would ask them questions about me so I could try to find out how to adjust. But I adjusted easy once I just let go and stopped paying attention to that stuff. Because you are who you are.
And what about like the music stuff? You say you're working on music too?
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to put this on or not, but I'm about to be on divorce court.
Okay.
I'm about to be on divorce court, and the episode about to air next month. And they let me, do a couple of bars on my thing.
Okay.
And they linked all my music together. So Dirty Weather, I'm trying to be in the studio like by the end of this year. Have my project drop, because what it is, see, I went to prison behind music.
Yeah. Something you remember he's doing music.
So I had a bunch of music that I would write, but I got to a point where I realized either I'm gonna try to be one of the best possible that I can be, or I'm gonna let it go. So they ended up trying to charge me with a staff assault in Solano. So basically, she told me to step outside the cell. Now I got the homie's phone, like I said, and I got the other homie's DVD player. I got other stuff I ain't supposed to have in there. So basically, I'm not about to just hand you this phone like, here you go. So I step out the cell, get against the wall. Somebody distracted her for like that long. Next thing you know, I was gone. Breaking across the street. And the pen, even though it's in the building, we call it a high-speed chase. So I took him on a high-speed chase. In the pen, if you run, they can shoot you. So I'm running across the day room. They shoot me, blah, 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 with the block gun, trying to hit me. So I run up the stairs and everything. I pushed the phone up under somebody's cell. The white boys looked at me and threw it back under the cell. So I threw it to another cell, basically. And, when I was running, I'm running the CO. She was like, my partner Pooh, man, the rapper Pooh.
Yeah.
Pooh always, this is his favorite sound bite. But I was running. She was like, why you running? Why you running for? I said, what you chasing me for?
Oh, shit.
But she did me dirty. So when I go to the hole, first I'm on potty watch. That's a whole nother story. That's pretty interesting. But I'm on potty watch. That's basically where contraband watch, where they wait till whatever you swallow comes out so they could dig through it and get whatever you ate. And I had ate some stuff in front of her, so they had me on potty watch. Now, while I'm on potty watch, I get this lockup order that says I have a staff assault. I'm like, staff assault? I didn't do nothing but run out, face the wall and run out the cell. I didn't assault nobody. So the female officer lied and said I burst out the cell and gave her a stiff arm with enough force to make her step back.
Oh, shit.
So now I got a staff assault. So now I'm having to I'm having to ask myself, how can this happen? I didn't do nothing. How can this happen? So I figure out a way to play up out of it. So there's this thing called suicide watch. So suicide watch is if you able to act like you crazy, you can beat the charge. You can beat it. And I ain't trying to do no motherfuckers 3 strikes. I can't do it. So I did it. And what that is basically basically you butt naked in a schmuck in a room with nothing in it. Nothing. They ain't giving you no drawers, no t-shirt, nothing. You gotta look like a little thing. And they come in and checking on you every Tuesday, Thursday to see if you still talking about hurting yourself or anything. So in this process, my grandma died. So really, it appeared like I was going through something, but really I was like, shoot, Grandma dear, good looking out because you about to help me beat this charge.
Oh, because they were going to try to stick you with that assault.
Yes. So I played it all the way to the end. And what happened is they found me guilty of the charge. But when the lieutenant that heard the 115 got back to his office and looked through some files, he found some missing statements that would more or less agree with me. Because if I stepped out the cell and then took off running and pushed you, how is that possible? And the dude opened the door for you. The tower dude opened the door. And she told me, so the tower dude said I stepped and got against the wall and then started running.
Versus, so there was no push. And
so there was no forearm. So they ended up dropping my 115. So they sent me back to Solano where I was. But look, 2 days after getting out the hole for 10 months fighting that staff assault, I'm on the yard rapping with my homie, letting them hear my new stuff. And I'm not realizing the yard is on lockdown. Well, I realized the yard on lockdown because the Southerners and the blacks got into it. But I ain't realizing that they're allowing them to move around because you're supposed to be on point anyway. So when they come around the corner, they're under escort by 1 police. So I'm with my partner, I'm like, look, watch him, man, watch him. He's like, it's good, man, they ain't tripping like that. Sure enough, when they got to the building, the 2 at the end, they whispered, and they come running at us. But because I was already on point, I was ready. So when the one came running at me, I seen the blade in his hand. So instead of going out, I ran at him. So we thumped, and I slipped. When I slipped, he get on top of me, and he trying to cut me. So I'm on the bottom doing the thing, and at that moment right there, I was really like vulnerable. I was vulnerable. And some brothers from Stockton, that's why, man, I look at gangbanging way different now because that Crip or that Pyro or that whoever, that might be the same person to save your life. And that's what happened with me. My partner, Snoop from Stockton, and Snoop and Dre, it was like 4 of them. They came and got that Mexican up off of me, and we did our thing after that. But after that, I ended up leaving that pen and coming back, and Snoop was about to go home. I was about to go home. Snoop had about a year or 2 left, but I was like, here, man, anything I can give you. Matter of fact, here go my cell. Anything you want in there, man, you can have it because you saved my life, and I really appreciate that. So when I hit a yard, I don't look at Crip as my enemy. I look at him as a brother, because that's how, that's how prison is.
And if you could tell the youngsters out there anything about this prison shit and out here, trying to be these, the thug stuff, 'cause, a lot of these rappers be talking about this and that, and I don't know if you keep up on YouTube, but a lot of dudes be talking all their business on the camera, and then turn around and getting charges put on them afterwards because they running their mouth too much. What would you tell a lot of these kids out here like thinking this shit is cool to talk about sliding on people and doing all this and that?
Man, off top, I believe if you are talking about it in your songs, like if you're talking about smoking somebody in your song, you're not really doing it like that, because they'll be on you. They'll be on you. But there are people that, they can push buttons and have stuff happen. But for the most part, I hope if you in that phase, I hope it's just a phase and you grow out of that, because I was like that. All my rap, I look back at some of my raps for the '90s. I was killing everybody in my raps in the '90s.
Yeah.
But then as maturity come, the raps change. So I hope that if you in that life and you glorifying that life, I hope you realize in the long run that there's life outside of that. Your style's gonna change. You're gonna change. Your experiences is gonna reshape you. So if you in that, man, try to know it's temporary. I know it's rough out here. I know that, it's hard. But just try to think long term, because what I notice is a lot of young homies that I deal with, if they ain't get money and they out there in the field, I try to talk future with them. They like, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna live till tomorrow. So I can't really talk with them like that. You do have a select few, and them select few I didn't rock with for years. But any message to the young, man, change while you can. Change while you can, because you don't want to look up and be like me. I'm 39, I'm about to be 40. And all I know is the game. All I know is the streets. I was raised in prison. I'm basically a prison baby. To hit a prison at 17 and come home at 33 and then go back for doing something that you felt was right, defending yours. So basically the system raised me. And one of the things why I was hesitant about this, because I didn't want to seem like I was glorifying nothing. I figure if I can help people by my experiences, I will. And you was talking about goals earlier. What I came to the conclusion is that if there's anything in life that I know well, front and back, prison.
Yeah.
Prison. I was there for 17 years straight of my life. So there's not a transition. There's not a transition or anything that I don't know about it. I mean, it's sad, but it's the truth. So the thing is, what can you do with that? Well, you can share your experiences with people and help people. But then I also wanted to go on TMZ. I wanted to be a certified convict consultant, because I feel that I can answer any question about prison thrown at me. And that way I can take and shape my bad experiences and turn them into something good. That's right.
That's good shit, man. I know you were talking earlier about spitting something for us, man. You want to spit something for the fans out there, man?
All right. So in prison, right, we rap. We don't got instruments and stuff like that, so we learn to harmonize by, beating on our chest and stuff like that. So since this is what we're on, I figure, I'll share, a rap or two of when I was in the struggle and what I was going through. So this rap right here is called Been a Long Time. I'm inspired by weak niggas that play the role and lead the ghetto after. 100,000 copies sold, I'm as real as the Holocaust and the Black Plague. Gang banging, life sentences, and AIDS, this life I lead may be the death of me, but I walk the main line with homies that I'll never see. They lie behind walls and chain link fences. They only find happiness from caps and Corley packages. They call us savages that kill niggas behind cabbage and kick down doors with fullies and get the blasting. And I figure life's don't laughing matter no more. I gave the system the best years of my life, so now you know why I speak like this, talk like this. It's pain for every year I put my mind to this shit. I got to change. It's principals involved and I'm out for the big stacks now. It's been a long time, now I can finally smile, cause man, it's been a long time. The blueprint of the evolution of my soul is too big for one rhyme. It's been a long time. My pain in my soul shed tears in these papers of rock designs. I sat in my cell and kicked myself in the ass. Caught myself chasing cash, but accumulated nothing. Only amassed a record and a self-robbery of my own freedom. No more pussy, no more weed. It's black tails and pinners. My mama, she come. That's the only time I seem to be happy. It's constantly, it seemed haters was always trying to get at me. I'm a youngster, don't get me wrong. Never laid down when the funk was on. I'm in prison, I wrote this song, going up the hill. My first aid to my dead to society. These people got me mad and I think everybody steady trying me. I'm a youngster, so fuck the world, and I mean it. Don't tell me about staring death in the eyes, cause man, I seen it. It's just the beginning of the good Lord's plan for me. robbed me of my 20s and I was locked up at 17. This is my evolution. Watching a boy turn into a man. I done been around these niggas in the pen more than my own kin. And they say they love me, but that's only when I'm doing good, cause these niggas is hard timing with flat line on their books. Man, it's been a long time.
Oh, that shit is dope, man. That shit is dope. Young Dirt, motherfucker in the house. Young Dirt, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad we were able to get together, man, and share your story with our fans, man, because a lot of these youngsters, they need to hear some real shit, some real G's, not these fake-ass, you know, dudes out here, you know, pushing this whole prison agenda, man. This shit is whack. You know, fuck prison, fuck jail.
Fuck that
you know
shit,
what I mean?
man.
Get you a trade, go to school, watch Fresh Out, man. Look my partner up on his social media. It'll be in the
Dirty
description. And man, keep it moving, Dirt, man. I really appreciate you, man. Hell of a story, brother, man. Thank you, man. Big Herc, Fresh Out, life after the penitentiary.
All the homies that's inside, man, y'all keep the struggle alive, man. I told y'all I'll be out here. I'll be representing for y'all, man. I love y'all. Most of y'all mess with got my number. I ain't unavailable. Y'all can get at me. Hit me.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.